Welcome back to Perfect Shine of Jacks. I'm Russ, your host, and today we got a really good video for you. We're going to do a little shootout between a couple polishes, one that's been my extreme favorite for the last year and a newcomer to the market, and I've got the perfect vehicle to work on. Today we've got a 2008, I believe, Chevy pickup truck that has absolutely hammered paint. Now, about a year ago, November 2023, I had a truck, a 2012 Toyota Tundra. And the title of the video on my YouTube channel, I'll try to put a link in, is Most Detailers Never Get a Truck This Bad. That truck was, again, hammered. And when I was done with it, it looked like a shiny new penny. Showed the owner that video. This is a new customer of mine. I washed this truck a couple days ago. And he saw the before and after, and I said, this truck is exactly the same. So let me bring you in a little bit closer and show you what we're working with and what we're gonna do for this one today. Okay, so here is our pickup truck. Now, today's shootout is going to be between the new P&S REHAB and Manzurna's Cut Force Pro, which has been my absolute favorite polish for the last year. In fact, regardless of what polishes would come out from here to eternity, this is probably the most awesome polish out there. So let me show you what we're working with on the truck. This is 2008, and I hate it when I do that. Let me zoom in here a little bit. All right, you will see that this paint is absolutely hammered. I did a little bit of a test spot right here in the driveway for the owner, just to kind of show him what we could get. And you can see my reflection there, and then not so much there. So the whole truck is this way, really, really hammered, lots of swirls and scratches. We come up to the hood, you can see just that level of oxidation. Yes, this hood really appears more gray than black. Now, we don't have a ton of paint to work with, so we're not going to be able to be overly crazy, but I'm absolutely certain we're going to be able to get the majority of that out, and more importantly, restore the gloss and shine to this vehicle. The headlights need a little bit of touching up. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but these headlights need a little bit of reviving too. They're not terrible. The owner said that he had done some polishing with it. So we're going to get to work here in just a second. I'll bring you in for our side-by-side comparison, so don't go away. I also wanted to bring you in and show you the side of the box here. As you can tell, very swirled up, scratches, layers of hard water, very, very messed up. But that's okay. That's the job. We're going to tackle it. So here, this is actually part of the video in my side-by-side comparison. I'll put a link in the description below because that video is about 45 minutes long. But here I'm using the new polish, the REHAB, and I've got it on a very mild pad, not a very aggressive pad. And the purpose for that is I want to see what can I get out of the polish without having to go to a super aggressive pad. So this is really telling me just what the polish will do versus what I'm going to get out of it if I had a big aggressive wool pad. So I'm working it, and also I'm checking the working time with this. If the polish dries out too fast, if it starts to dust up on me, if the polisher starts skipping and jumping around, those are things that I'm checking for here. And it's doing really, really well. I can already tell the shine is great. I'm not going to get all the hard water spots off with this pad, but I don't expect to because there's probably 10 years of hard water on this truck. I am going to use a more aggressive wool pad to get it off, but just for testing purposes with the new REHAB polish, I'm giving it a try. So we're going to finish working it here in just a second. I'll bring you in close. All right, now we see what we've got, and really pretty amazing. Look at what it was, and now, and you can see it's jacked up, and now 1,000% better. I'll come in close. You'll see that we have not removed all of the hard water spots, but I did not expect to. This is kind of trying to see what I can get out of it what the polish is capable of all on its own. And as you see here, still lots of hard water, but the depth of gloss and the shine is pretty amazing. So as I'm doing my inspection here, I feel pretty good about what this polish has accomplished so far. And again, there's the before, there's the after. All right, now I'm going to come in with a little bit more aggressive pad, and this pad is just for the rotary. I've switched up there and put my headlamp on so I can see a little bit better about what I'm actually getting accomplished. And I'm not so sure that this is going to take off all the hard water either, but again, for testing, I want to see what this polish slant compound is capable of. So I'm going to work it a little bit more here. To do a fair evaluation, you really have to test these compounds with a rotary, with a long action, long throw polisher, and with a forced rotation, and find out if it's got any limitations. And in 2024, it should not have any limitations. All right, let me get it wiped off, and I will bring you in close. I'm pretty impressed with what I see. I know I'm still going to have to use a wool pad to take the majority of the hard water off, but I think this has got us a little bit closer. Still got a great shine, even with the more aggressive pad, which is a little bit rare. And it has taken off more of the hard water, but again, this truck's probably got 10 years of hard water on it, so we are going to have to use a wool pad on it, which is no surprise. I expected that. But the finish is overall pretty good. When I'm done polishing it, I am going to use a finish polish with a sealant in it to add protection to it, and it will really bring out the depth of gloss and shine even more. So far, so good. Okay, we're still on the passenger side. This is kind of the doggy door on the passenger side. And we're going to come in here and I'll show you what we're working with. Not quite so much on the hard water action. Got plenty of swirls and scratches. But also some, it's faded, it's oxidized. And so we're going to use this. We're going to up the game a little bit. We're going to use a Lake Country blue HDO pad on the long throw polisher. So hold on, here we go. So here we're using a different pad, and if you're a detailer, you know about all these pads that I'm talking about, and this is one of my very favorites. It's pretty much my go-to. So we're going to see what it can do with the Rehab on a long throw 21 millimeter polisher. So I'm running it about a little over half, about 3,600 RPM. We'll get the wipe off and we'll get a look at it. And I'm very impressed. This polish wipes off super easy. I definitely appreciate that about it. If you want the full review, which is about 45 minutes long, click on the link in the description box and check it out because I'm very, very thorough with it. And really, I think you'll get a lot out of it. But as I'm wiping it off here, I like what I see. The more aggressive pad with the Rehab polish has not hazed up the paint. It is still deep and rich and glossy and everything really you would want it to be. Near perfect here with not too many passes. So here's the before. You can see up to my tape line, I'm staying away from it. And there's the after. Absolutely amazing, great job. Worked excellent on the long throw polisher. And here we're going to try another type of polisher. We are going to do a forced rotation polisher with the blue HDO pad. Up here you can see the clear coat has left the building. It is not on the top. So I'm going to use the forced rotation with the blue HDO pad and the Rehab, and we'll see what we get out of it. You can tell paint's pretty messed up. Okay. Now again, this is the third type of polisher I've used in this test and evaluation of this new polisher. And REHAB says it can be used with forced rotation or long throw or random, whatever you want to use. So I'm putting it to the test, and so far, it's doing really well. We're going to put it through its paces, and ultimately, when I'm done, I want this truck to look like as close as possible to brand new. We won't quite get there because we don't have a lot of paint to work with, and there are some other defects on it. But we're gonna do our best to be absolutely perfect with it. And I am running, this is the Flex Sea Beast, and I am running it a little higher speed, because when I'm running forced rotation, that's pretty much the speed I'm running it. Kind of a carryover from the days with Mike Phillips, and see what we can get out of it. Long working time on this polish. Doing a fantastic job. Get my light back on here so I can see what I'm doing. Easy wipe off. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. That paint feels like velvet right now. It's absolutely just all you want to do is touch the paint now. It feels so good. I see a few defects, but nothing to write home about. I think this would easily be a phenomenal one-step combination. So let me grab the camera and I'm gonna bring you in close. It's hard when you're the guy doing everything, the polishing and the filming. All right, and here is the final product. Really phenomenal. Very happy with it. Few little swirls in there, but I think that is a symptom of the forced rotation. I can see just a little bit of marring. All right, I used some very strong water spot remover. Not here. This is my area I'm not touching just yet. So as we come over, you probably can't tell much of a difference, but it did help soften and remove some of the mineral. What you're seeing here is etched into the glass, and that will require polishing. So for those of you that were wondering if I'm using water spot remover, I am, but this water is 350, 400 parts per million of hardness, and the Florida sun has had a long time to bake it in. So let's get to polishing this and see what kind of difference we can get. One last update on the glass. The OCD in me just wouldn't quite let it go, so I had one more trick I hadn't tried. Still water spots on it, but immensely better than it was. And again, this is 2008. All the hard water for all the years. This looks pretty damn good compared to what it was. And if the owner had to have it absolutely perfect, then we would negotiate a price for the hours that I would spend to do that. So anyway, we're very happy with the way the glass is finally coming out. All right, here you see the tail light. I've polished this left side. There's my tape line. And you see just how faded and oxidized the plastic had become. So we're gonna polish out everything, really kind of give this truck a fresh new look. Here you can see on the hood, I've kind of done a 50-50. There's the oxidized part, which is rough. And there's the part we've polished out, looking really good. All right, we are done with our 2008 Chevy pickup truck, and it has came out absolutely outstanding, especially compared to what it looked like yesterday. Now, I think today this truck is probably worth another $3,000 or $4,000 more than it was yesterday. Came out really, really nice. I mentioned in the beginning, we didn't have a ton of paint to work with, so we couldn't go overly crazy, but for the most part, this truck was covered in layers of hard water, really, really bad. We have some of the hardest water in the country right here in North Florida. So you just can't use this water to wash your car with. And as you saw in the videos, this truck was just layered up in hard water spots. So anyway, we have taken this truck from looking like somebody's seriously abused work truck, turned it into that Saturday night going out on the town type thing. So let me bring you in, I'll show you the final product. Came out beautiful. And if you've got a truck or a car that you want to get polished back to new, maybe you want to sell it, you want to get more money for it, or if you want to get it protected with a ceramic coating to keep it beautiful and protected against everything Mother Nature is going to throw at it for the next couple of years, we can take care of it. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, this truck is absolutely stunning. I'm gonna use the sun here and catch a few angles and show you just how beautiful, and look at the reflection we've got going on. You see my van right there. So absolutely wonderful. Got probably about 95% of all that hard water off of there. Fortunately, we had enough paint to work with. We had to really approach this one as more of a paint preservation because it is such an old vehicle and we didn't have that much paint to work with. So absolutely beautiful. You can really see the reflection just outstanding there. And I'll come in close. That paint is near flawless, at least given the age and everything else. We got the vast majority of the water spots off the glass. In fact, I think I showed earlier with the back glass, which was really about the worst. So, really happy with the way it came out. Just beautiful. Polished up these tail lights. Brought this really back from the dead. Okay, well, if you've got a truck or a car you want to get polished out to perfection, maybe ceramic coated, and you live in Yulee, Amelia Island, Fernandina Beach, let's get the sun out of the way here. I'm gonna have to go to the back. Here's the number to call, 904-575-0258. On the web, perfectshineofjacks.com. If you got any value out of this, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.